Alex Whitworth of Carahsoft. It's great to see you again. Thanks for joining me today. What's the kind of the theme of the discussions that are going on right now in the cloud security and ATO community now?
Great question. It's a very interesting time for modernization in government, right? Government is really focused on removing bureaucracy and speeding the ability to buy and bring new technology in to help us solve the problems that we're all trying to solve here collectively. And if you look at some of the efforts being put forth by the FedRAMP office, by GSA, by DoD, with their software fast track initiative, it's clear that they are focused on trying to solve these problems, accelerate ATOs, and bring in a level of automation into that process so that the continuous monitoring aspect can be achieved much more efficiently.
Mm-hmm. A lot of discussion about the FedRAMP 20X and what that means for the government side. What does that mean in your view for the industry side, and how are you telling folks that you partner with on the industry side to respond to that so that they can continue to serve the government as well as they possibly can?
Absolutely. The FedRAMP 20X really does create the potential for industry and software producers to get to a FedRAMP ATO much faster, right? As the program works out and it continues to roll out and they work through some of the things that they're trying to work through now. We're telling software companies to get ready, lean into FedRAMP more than ever, because government's trying to find easier ways for new technology to come in. It also creates an opportunity for ATO accelerators and those focused on delivering automation in that process. So there's a whole market of great companies that are either just forming or starting to really accelerate that can help companies come into government through the FedRAMP process much faster.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned the SWIFT program at the Pentagon, the software fast track. We've already hit on FedRAMP. There are a number of different frameworks and processes here. Are companies having any difficulty navigating this? I kind of think of it like putting puzzle pieces together. Is that presenting a challenge for companies, or are these all being presented in a way that is pretty logical and methodical for companies to try to make sure they're doing all the things they should do?
That's a good question. There is a certain amount of complexity to it because there are so many different pieces and parts and different people and players involved. But I will say, the level of sort of common sense that's being introduced into the process will help reduce that complexity. And there's also so many great advisors and consultants in the market that can help walk companies through and sort of provide the Rosetta Stone of how to understand and get through the processes.
Mm-hmm. That Rosetta Stone concept is a smart way to frame it too, I think, because it can seem complex, I imagine. And translation was what I think of when I think of Rosetta Stone. That sounds like a logical way to present that idea.
Absolutely. Yeah, and in Carahsoft, we really focus on understanding all of these different complexities. And so welcome the opportunity to talk with new companies that are either just getting started with FedRAMP or DoD impact levels, or are well into their journey and they're maybe pivoting or trying to decide where to go next. And so we have a good understanding of the market and the available options for achieving those goals. And so happy to talk to companies as they're starting to evaluate the possibilities.
About a minute left. What's over the horizon in your view? What should companies be paying attention to today that maybe they don't need to worry about today, but should be aware is coming down the pike?
Yeah, I think down the horizon, if you sort of play through 20X and some of these other initiatives, really leveraging commercial capabilities to automate the continuous monitoring of all of these different control sets, so that at any given time, right, you don't have to redocument your effort completely for accreditation, right? The system is constantly checking and making sure and demonstrating the evidence that you are at a compliant state. So really focusing on that automation piece.
Alex, always great to catch up with you. Thanks for your time.
Likewise. Thank you, Francis.